Vision.
And Z Vibes.
Vibes. And as you can see, we're dressed a little bit different today.
Yeah, we're a little comfy.
I know you guys can't really see us, but you can hear and just feel the energy, right? We look and sound just at ease. And that's because we're too blessed
to be stressed.
Okay.
Oh, the phone done fell, but it's okay. We are too blessed to be stressed. So are you always feeling burnt out? Or, I mean, like, do you feel burnt out?
Oh, girl. You know, that's a real question. Do you always feel burnt out? And we're going to get to how I feel when it comes to that. Or do you feel like you give 110% to everyone else but yourself? I know that's a testimony for somebody.
Java. And do you find like you're always building someone else's dream and pushing yours to the side or the back burner?
Girl, let's talk about it. It's called the burnout. Here's the real definition, though. We're going to break this down.
We're going to break it down.
According to Google, okay.
Google. The homegirl Google.
It's an adjective. Burnout is an adjective. Burned out. The definition of burnt out is worn out, also known as being exhausted.
Right. So we are going to break it down to you so easy that if you say yes to the following, then you are a part of the Burnout Club, sis and bruh. If you say yes, you in a burnout club, and that's not it.
That's right, girl. Let's begin, because you know Tay always has the stats. Okay, ding. Let's start, Tay.
All right. So a recent Gallup study of nearly 7,500 full-time employees found that 23% reported feeling burnt out at work very often or always, while an additional 44% reported feeling burnt out sometimes. Like, do you feel burnt out at your job ever?
I mean, I think, well, I'm very passionate about my job and everything of that nature, but I do feel like there's times where you're going so hard and focusing on nothing else that you forget about yourself.
Right. So let's get into it. So if you say yes to any of these 9 facts or traits of being burnt out, then this episode is all the way for you.
All the way. And I know everyone can relate to this, but we're going to go down the list and see if you really do. So listen up. Put your ears to your phone. Put your ears to the camera.
The headphones in.
Period. Because we got a list. Go ahead.
All right. So number 1, mental and physical fatigue and exhaustion.
Number 2, moodiness, impatience, and short-tempered.
Number 3, loss of motivation and reduced interest in commitments.
Inability to meet obligations.
Number 5, lowered immunity to illness.
Number 6, emotional detachment from previous involvements.
Number 7, hopeless, helpless, and depressed outlook.
Number 8, job inefficiency.
And number 9, sleep deprivation. Deprivation, whatever. You can't sleep.
You know what we
You can't go to sleep.
You need some melatonin. Did I say it right?
Melatonin, yeah.
Melatonin.
That's right.
Melatonin, okay? To view the whole list, you can visit our show links. We got your boo and bruh. We got it all documented. But let's get into just experiences, right? I think it's important for us to share our experiences of when we got burned out.
Right. And how do we go about solving the problem? So what traits on that list, I guess, were most prevalent for us? So I guess what is the time that you were burnt out, like at work or in life in general?
I think a time where I was burnt out was where, you know, when you go somewhere or you're doing something, regardless if it's your job or it's just working for somebody else, and it becomes a habit. It becomes something where you just continue to do the same cycle. You're not really passionate about it, but you're just doing it out of obligation, and it makes you really unhappy. It becomes a routine that you don't change up, you don't switch up, you're not happy, you drag yourself out of bed in the morning. Yeah. You literally do not want to do it. You have so much relief when you finally come home. And it's just a draining cycle. I think feeling drained is the real key to being burned out. And the examples in the list we displayed is the keys to understanding that you are burned out.
Yeah, and I think for me, like, a time that I've been burnt out is just always trying to just not always doing too much. And I'm a very active person, so if I feel like I'm not doing something, then that makes me feel like I'm not being productive. But that's not always true. So feeling like I'm always doing something, not sitting down, not taking time to take a nap, or, just feed myself the nutrients that it needs to be healthy. That for me, see, that for me is, I need some water, y'all, is being burnt out.
Milk. But yeah, no, definitely. I resonate with that too. I think that also goes hand in hand with giving more of yourself to other people than you are to yourself. Especially if you feel like you're grinding on for someone else's vision, and then at the end of the day, you're not receiving anything from it. You can get burned out from that.
Yeah.
And real burnt out because at the end of the day, you realize you didn't gain much.
Yeah, and that also goes into mental exhaustion and mental fatigue as well, not just only on your body. So for me, the traits from the list that we went through, so a couple of things that I feel when I am burned out is I'll have physical and mental fatigue and exhaustion. My immune system will be really weak. I can't really sleep. Those are the top 3 things for me. And then also just loss of motivation for helping other people. And I'm I just naturally helping other people. What are some traits that you find yourself in?
Well, for the list, what resonated with me was physical fatigue. I'll always just be tired if I'm not really engaged in something. I don't want to do anything. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say I'm moody or short-tempered, but you can definitely see a shift in emotions. You're sort of detached from people and the situations around you. You're just doing that routine that I was stating before. I don't really get sick, but I would say you do feel hopeless because you realize you're not walking either in your purpose or truly aligned with what you're supposed to be doing in your life. And that feeling can make you feel so low.
Yeah. Okay, so after we identify the traits that we might be going through, I guess that's the time where we realize
it was time. Other people.
So can you tell what does that
Well, when it comes to treating people and being burnt out, I think I even touched on it. You just become moody, you become detached, you don't really care about how other people feel, and that's a real telltale sign. If you're just not going out, not truly being a part of the community, having happiness, not being that light that you are, because we on the Vision and Vibes, we strive to be positive lights and energy, and if you don't have that, that's a sign that maybe you're overextending yourself in different situations.
Yeah, that is very true. And the best way to overcome stress or to prevent being burnt out is maintaining strong mental health. And just being aware of what's it going to take for you to take care of yourself, because everyone has different things. Sometimes it's going to the gym for people, and sometimes maybe it's just going to the spa or just being in your own quiet little zone. So what's a good way that you
there's different forms of self-care, and when it comes to self-care, you have to just truly optimize on it. What is self-care for you? And it can be anything. It can be, as she said, going to the gym. For guys, it could literally just playing a game or taking that time, smoking a cigar if that's your thing. Maybe 1 glass of wine a night. It's something where you allow yourself to just focus in on you.
Right. And then it all could also be the adult coloring books.
Yes.
Those are actually pretty fun, and it does relieve stress. I've tried them before,
Desk jobs, you could just do that. Self-care is defined as the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health, or the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness. It's all about maintaining happiness during periods of stress.
Right. So so I could definitely agree with what you said there. So why is it important for you to be able to have a strong level of self-care? Number one, because you can't fill up other people if you're not filled up. So that goes into having a really strong morning routine to make sure that your cup is full and running over. So whatever excess you have running over within yourself, you're able to give to other people, because you can't happily give if you aren't really full within yourself.
Exactly. You're gonna get, and that's how you become burnt out. You're just extending so much energy out to other people, help, and then you're just stuck in a position where you just feel like, well, I have no more. I just gave it all. So the different forms of self-care. They can come with mental,
Right.
physical, spiritual. And when she talks about morning routines and nighttime routines, I think those are essential. That's where we're looking like this right now. We're being comfortable. We're in our vibes, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the morning, what are some things that you do? Here's some actionable things that we do in order to not be burned out, maintain our sanity before we go to work in the morning.
Right.
What do you do?
Okay, so I actually saw this on Adrienne Bailon's, her YouTube channel. So basically she does this thing, it's like first 15. So the first 15 minutes of your day you spend praying, meditating, and journaling.
Yes.
So I think that's really important because when you're able to spend time with yourself in the first thing in the morning, that means that you're, number one, putting yourself first. You're starting your day off very strong because you're making sure that your spirit and your energy is at the level that it needs to be to optimize for you to have an amazing day. So praying, meditating, whether that be just reflecting on your life, showing forms of gratitude, listening to worship music. I think that's a really good like actionable tip that you can do.
For sure. And I feel like it even starts as soon as you get out of bed.
Right.
Making that first accomplishment of your day. Making your bed.
Yes.
I know it sounds so simple and it's like minute. Sometimes you're like, why do I have to even do it, right?
Yeah.
But like having that one accomplishment can really make a change in the way the course of your day improves.
Yes.
Doing all of those things are definitely a beneficial step that you can do in order to maintain that. I think some more stuff would be mantras.
Yeah, which you mentioned.
Positive things, filling yourself up with kind words.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like you're broke, don't put that in the atmosphere. I'm wealthy. I can afford it. That's something I always say. And I have a list of mantras that I can share with you guys. Podcasts, sermons, your favorite YouTube show. Hello, listen to us in the morning.
Yeah, I'm going to say hopefully it's us. Eating breakfast. That's really, really, really important because you want to make sure that you have energy to go throughout the day, especially in the morning, because I feel like once like a certain time period has passed and you haven't reached any of your goals, then you probably need to get back on it, or you're doing something wrong, which could go into like not eating breakfast to get energy to fulfill those goals.
Exactly. And you can work out, you can stretch, listen to music, have that vibe of high vibrational music, high vibrational energy. Working out, first of all, chemically, it just wakes you up.
It releases endorphins that are really good for you. So that's something that's really awesome. And then you can also, number one, plan your day. Make a to-do list. One thing that I would recommend is making a to-do list the night before of what you have to do the next day. So in the morning, all you have to do is review it, and you already have instilled like in your mind that you need to do this, and this today, and you need to do this, and this by this time. So you want to do the biggest task and before like 12 or 1 o'clock, and then after that you can make efforts to go through those smaller goals throughout the day.
And I think that's a major key. To-do list, small, big, large, if you break it down, you can achieve it. And review your personal goals every single day. Make sure you're working towards them. Make sure you're actually making huge movements toward them, because that's what will really key into your individual success.
Right.
So those are some actionable things you can do every single day in your morning routine, or even, in your nighttime routine with planning out your to-do list to really kickstart that feeling and push that feeling of being burnt out away.
Right.
And we also have some apps.
Yeah, so I know that you talked about Reflect. What is it called?
Yeah, so different apps you can use to optimize on feeling that self-care. One thing that I think is really cool, I'm not the type of person who I want to journal, but I don't hate it, but putting pen to paper sometimes just feels like very tedious. It's not something that's a part of my normal schedule. I don't really I'm always typing. I'm a technology type of person. I'm not gonna lie.
I personally like journaling, but for those of you who don't, Barmel has a really good app for that.
Reflectly. Oh my goodness. I use this app to journal if I have an overwhelming sense of emotions. I write in there and it helps me sort through them. And I'm more of a journaler who I don't like to journal every single day. And you don't have to feel that pressure. I only do it when I have an overwhelming sense of emotion, or I'm really happy, or I'm really sad, or I just need to talk to somebody and sort through what's going into my head, but I don't necessarily want to communicate. I'll communicate it to myself and then read it back. or maybe even video journaling. You can do that
vlog.
too.
Yeah, that's a really good way. Another app that you can use is either Hulu or Netflix. And some people say like you're not being successful if you're sitting down watching TV, but if that's how you're able to relieve stress, and I know cartoons are something that I really like watching.
Yeah.
It brings back childhood memories, it relieves stress, so that makes me feel good when I'm able to sit down and watch a cartoon, not think about anything, not think about the humor of like, I don't have to read too deep into watching a freaking cartoon. Like, it's just nice and relaxing.
I can imagine Taylor watching a cartoon right now. She's such a giggly person. She's probably looking crazy while she does it. Just giggling.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh my god, that's so funny. But yeah, I like watching like Jimmy Neutron, the Proud Family, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a happy place.
Okay, girl, we hear you. We also have another app, which is like a time blocker app, okay? Something where very productive and successful people, they block out their time, right? So like 25 minutes dedicated to a task each day. For instance, if you want to go wash your dishes, I would say a lot 25.
Yeah, and then that's it. And I feel like that's a good way to, number one, keep you on track with your goals, which we talked about in another podcast, but it'll help you schedule in the time for yourself. And you have to schedule in time for yourself, because if you don't, then you'll always be giving your time to other people. So that's something that I would definitely recommend. And another app that you guys can use is Apple Music or Spotify.
Yes.
Music is naturally known to like make you
It's scientific.
Yeah.
It makes you feel certain emotions. It will truly affect and sort of navigate your day in regards to how you move in that particular moment. So if you have some positive music, it can really sort of, maybe we should make a playlist, y'all.
Yeah, we should.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us
below.
know. I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Different moods for different playlists. So in addition to that, maybe you can utilize the apps throughout the day, but these are other tips that you can use throughout the day to help you manage your stress.
All right, so throughout the day, you want to eat foods to eat and relieve stress. So not junk food.
Right.
Not appeasing that craving that you have for like a burger or something that's unhealthy. Eat foods that like are healthy. So like maybe some pineapple, some fruits, like things that you're craving, but in more of a healthy, satisfactional type of way.
Yeah, like I think anything in the fruit, like fruits, blueberries, tangerines, pineapples, anything that's like it's fruity but it has like a good sugar, that's gonna really help you because it'll bring up your energy level, and then it'll also make you feel good because it's organic. And then that's also goes into, this might be weird, but like digestion.
Yeah.
You don't want to be backed up. That could make you stressed out. Not even gonna lie though, it can. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're freaking constipated, you're stressed out, your body can't get rid of toxins, so you want to make sure that you're feeding your body foods that can help relieve the toxins, because when you're stressed out, you might not know, we talked about this too, but it'll weaken your immune system. And I also was reading an article that it'll stop your face from like fighting off acne, because your immune system is weak. So your bacteria, like you're fighting back. Yeah, the cells in your body that fight bacteria, they're working in other areas as opposed to like your face.
There Tay goes again with the facts and the stats, okay? Another thing you should do is really stick to blocking time out for yourself. So we've talked about blocking time in regards to your morning routine, but I think it's really important to dedicate time to yourself. So if you say, I'm literally doing self-love at a certain time at night, like I'm going to watch this show, this is my show time, no one else bother me, stick to that time and be okay with saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to call you back, I have an appointment with myself.
But you don't have to tell them that, and stick to it. Make sure that you pencil in that time for yourself. And another cool thing that I like to do is take personal road trips. Honestly, being in the car by myself is very soothing. I feel like it's time for me to reflect on what I'm doing, how great I'm doing, give myself a pat on the back, and then also just woo-saw and listen to my music, just ride out, just spending that nice quality time with yourself. Because I feel like on a road trip, no one can really interrupt you.
Very true. And if you don't like taking road trips by yourself, you can also try this, which I like spas.
Yes.
Okay? And if you don't have enough money to actually go to the spa, honey, you can do an at-home spa. Do your own little mask.
Girl, put the playlist on. Put the
Yes.
little spa music. I like doing that sometimes too, like putting on rain music.
Right.
Not like charity, but you know, like rain, like it's raining outside music.
Yes.
I had to clarify. I'm like, no, we not going
but
around
that
in a
stuff
circle.
does calm you.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that static sound that sometimes people listen to in order to go to sleep, which is odd, but something that's beneficial. Take yourself out on a date. Okay?
Yes.
If you can't take yourself out on a date, honey, you don't even bother going out with anybody else because you got to know how to love you first.
Exactly. And then also get your rest and sleep. I know for me, I personally need like a full 8 hours of sleep. Some people need less, some people need more, but in order for me to feel rejuvenated, I need 8 hours of sleep. And if I don't get the 8 hours of sleep, I can find myself slowly getting burnt out.
Oh, and this is a big one for me. Keeping my home and my area clean.
Yes.
I feel like what's around you is a reflection of what's in your mind.
Yes.
You know? Has your mama ever told you that, oh, you must not be feeling good because check out what's around you. How you feeling? Because, you know, like when your room is cluttered or when you feel discombobulated, it's a reflection of what's happening around you. So just clean up your stuff, pick up some items, dedicate some time to just doing that, and I'm telling you, it'll improve your day if you wake up to a clean room.
Yes, and honestly, you can tell a lot about a person by like you can tell a lot about someone's life by how clean their car or their house is. Like if they look like they may have a chaotic life, then they probably got a chaotic looking house.
Right.
I'm just saying. I done seen it. I done observed it. It's happening right now.
Honey.
And then another thing that you could do is like give others compliments.
Oh, I love doing that.
That first of all, that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
When you just say, "Oh, I love those shoes," because genuinely, because you're brightening someone else's day, and naturally, you're releasing like a really good energy and like endorphins.
Vibrations.
Yeah, that's really good. And then
let's say together, social detox. Okay, you need to social detox. Just take a break, take a step back. And that comes in the form of social media or just from people in general.
Honestly though, like you have to spend time by yourself for yourself, because in order to grow, like you have to know who you are. You have to know exactly where you are, and you aren't going to be one within yourself if you're always around people. That's just my personal opinion. Whether that be always surfing on social media, comparing yourself, like you gotta.
So unhealthy to do
really
that.
You really gotta do better, sis. Like
you got to do better, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody does it sometime to some degree.
Yeah,
it's natural for you to compare yourself, but when you take it to that level, you really got to take a step back and just say, I am me, I know what I'm doing, and also align yourself. If you believe in God, align yourself with God, the universe, whatever, take time to just center, meditate, honey.
Yes.
All right, so we've talked about some actionable tips. We've talked about things you can do in your morning routine. We've talked about, signs of being burnt out. Now here are a few sermons that we listen to and we think will lead you in a positive direction.
To living your best life and, feeling stress-free, sis.
Yes.
So one thing that I like is, we both like Transformation Church, the Crazy Faith series in particular.
So good.
It's so good. It's, honestly, you will feel, when your spirit is fed, that just takes you to a whole nother level. And also someone that we really both like too is Sarah Jakes Roberts. She gives really good sermons, and she also gives it from a different perspective that might be easier for you to relate to. So that's really good. And then also, I love Elevation Church.
Elevation Church, so good. He always breaks things down. He's so funny too. So you'll always get a kick out of him. But having these sermons, for me, they really speak to me at times, whether or not you believe in certain things. If you listen to them, you gain something out of them.
Yes.
In order to move in a certain direction in your life, you're going to have a certain level of faith.
Yes. And I believe, and also to be specific with the Elevation Church, the flip the bag.
Yeah, flip the bag, making negative situations into positive, or just really multiplying. So basically, I'm going to let you listen to it, but a snippet of it is if basically in a Bible story, they gave a slave one bag. He was able to come back with 5.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
basically making the best out of your personal situation. So that's I think that we pretty much wrapped up everything for today's episode. The biggest thing that I could say taking away is being aware of when you are burned out.
Yes.
Knowing how to address it, asking yourself, okay, I'm feeling like this. Why do I feel like this? And how can I not feel like this? Those are the 3 things that you could do. Questions that you can ask yourself, and then apply the actionable tips that we've given you guys to answer those questions. Like, I feel burnt out. Why am I feeling burnt out? You can maybe go through the traits that we talked about, and then, okay, in order to change me feeling like this, I need to do this, and then maybe apply some of the actionable tips that we talked about.
And it's important that you do. Being burnt out is a real serious thing, because that can lead to depression. That can lead to you just not being aligned with yourself, and you have to take that stuff seriously. This conversation is, I think, a really good deep one, because it's a necessary one. Sometimes we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to have this conversation about, oh, I'm feeling burnt out, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling like I'm not taking care of myself, I don't feel like I'm moving in the direction that I want. So if you identify these things, as Tay said, this is something that will lead you in the right direction, and we really hope that you're allowing yourself to reflect. Reflection is key.
Yes.
Major key.
Look at, like, as MJ says, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Ooh, I'm asking that he change his ways.
Everyone in the world a better place, and make a change. And it's okay. We did not know all of the lyrics, but it was the core of what we were saying.
And it was intentional.
Intentional.
And it worked with the episode.
It did. So
perfect.
Yes, you guys, that is, too blessed to be stressed for this episode, and we want you to just be blessed. So take our advice so you do not get stressed. All right.
Until next time, guys. Bye.
We got the vision. We got the vibes. Hey, we got the vision.
Hey,
and the vibes. Bye, y'all.